Hey Aries, welcome into your reading. Okay, we're right smack dab in the middle of Aries season. So happy birthday to those of you who had a birthday and those of you where it's coming. Okay, I will only admit this once a year. Mine was yesterday. Okay, with that said, um, these two cards just popped out without me even thinking anything. So I just think it's important that I just talk about them, right? Four of Cups and Eight of Swords. You guys are stuck in some sort of situation that's unrequited, regardless of what it is, a relationship of sorts, right? So even if it's in your career or a marriage or a commitment or a friendship, whatever it is, it's toxic. All right. So what you're sensing is accurate. Moreover, with this massive stellium that's coming into Aries, which we've never seen in our lifetime, nobody, I don't care what sign you are, no one's ever seen it. No one will ever see it again after this goes away, which is the 14th to the 17th of April. And I am going to do a special reading just on the stellium that's going on and how it's affecting the whole entire collective. So I'm going to read for every sign. But back to you, because we're reading for the mid part of April right now. Um, so I want to say second to third week of April, right around the stellium period that we're talking about. This unrequited thing, or this thing that you're not thrilled for, you're like, no, not for me. It's your inner voice speaking to you, Aries, right now, telling you what no longer works for you. These energies in the sky right now are so strong. They're definitely pushing you and forcing you into a direction. All right, so I want you guys to tune into whatever this is. We're going to clarify. I'm going to clarify it. I'm going to put these aside and I'm going to throw extra cards out because this month is a big, impactful month. This week, particularly, is the most pivotal week probably of your whole lives. I'm not even kidding, because what you do next week, what you set in stone, it's done. There's no reverse course. There's no fix, nothing to fix, but there's nothing to change. That is the course that you lock in. So lock in, all right? And we'll see what you're talking about that's stuck. But if you're already sensing it's toxic, there it is. A lot of you, it is some sort of traditional thing that someone you're married to, someone you courted, someone, maybe it's even something that you've been studying or a career that you went only because you thought that's what you should have done and you were forced in that direction by, I don't know, family. All of that changes. This is the literal, legit reset button for all Aries. This is the week where everything ignites for you guys, okay? By the way, Mars, April 9th, went into your sign. It hasn't done that in 2 years. So that is the engines revving up, all right? What's the situation mid-April for Aries? You're going to feel hella aggressive. You're going to feel hella energetic. You're going to feel super strong. You're going to feel powerful. I want you to lean into it, but in the right way, right? I need you to kind of control that fire, right? So you can use it for your betterment. Now, I have the Seven of Wands here and the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Cups. Those are two eights. Interesting. No, two sevens. Lies. This is the Eight of Cups. Oh, there is two sevens and there is two eights. Dude, I love this. You guys are literally taking a beat. You're defending yourself or you're resisting some shit, right? You're saying to yourself, listen to me and listen to me good. I gotta talk in the mic. There's a reason I'm here and you're here. I'm the one up here looking down at you and you are looking up at me, trying to fight me down. No, there's a reason I'm up here, because I earned this position. And it's the same notion and same feeling when you're resisting something. You know your place. You're above it all. You get it? That's why this is here for you. The Seven of Wands talks about protecting yourself, defending yourself, or resisting someone or something that you know isn't right for you. Right? And here's another seven. Why is that significant? Because sevens is when we pause to reflect. And you say to yourself, okay, I invested. I did all this. I made all this coin. I got all this experience. I can move it along now and I can recreate it over there. Right? But I don't need the toxic shit to follow me either. So you're pausing and you're reflecting and you're seeing the worth and the value, what you take with you, what you don't, right? And then after you pause and you reflect, you realize you're walking away from something that no longer emotionally serves you. You are finally serving yourself, Aries, and you're allowed to. It's fine to be this way, right? And then right after you do that, all these strong energies, all these planets, the stellium that's coming into your sign is forcing and propelling you forward. You start taking action. You start going back and forth. You start chopping wood. If you've ghosted someone or you were doing, I don't know, something in the shadows, you come out. You reveal plans, you tell people what you're gonna do, you finally, mulled it over, you decided, and this is the go forward. And you're not even gonna give three shits about what people think or say, because you realize what you're doing is far more important. It's you. It's not being selfish. It's what you do benefits everyone around you. Now, let's continue. What's coming in this mid-month of April for Aries? All right, you're slightly challenged to move it along, right? Because it's hard. You're kind of saying goodbye to an old life, an old situation. And somewhere deep down inside, on an innate level, you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to go, right? Because here it is. Yeah, look at that. 10 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords. Swords, guys, is mental. It's thoughts, it's processing, it's analyzing, right? And then the 6 of Swords is like you're struggling. You're in the boat and you're looking at the storm. You're literally looking at it. And, you see on one side where the clouds have parted and the sun is coming in. But on the other side, you're looking at the storm. Leave it. Bye. Go where the clouds are parted. Something has ended for a reason. This betrayal, this whatever. You're not going to let this hold you back no more. There's reasons why you're up here doing this. Okay? Look at this. There's another King of Wands that's coming in, but this person seems to be solid. This actually feels newish to me, this person. They can be a fire sign like yourselves, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person's of higher stature. This feels new, though. There is another fire sign. I don't know if you're stalking them or if they're stalking you, but some action is definitely taking place. They don't have to be fire. They could be just somebody very sexy, charismatic, charming. Yeah, let's continue. What's the surprise this week for my Aries, please? You guys are getting slightly stuck on something, right? The Hangman is here, which is Pisces energy. The problem is, look at both Pisces energies here with the moon. Here's the problem. Something to you is absolutely not clear, right? Because the moon talks about us being cautious because we fear the future. We don't know the decisions that we're making, how they're going to affect us in the future, right? All we know is that we're healing. All right, and I'll be honest with you. Before I even started pulling out your cards and I was meditating on you guys, I was feeling a sense of you. A lot of you are feeling stronger and stronger by the day. All right, and this was the most important week because the whole process was happening to you from basically April 6th, I want to say, all the way up to April 12th. It's been a process. Like one day you were sad and depressed. Another day you were overly tired. Another day you started being optimistic. And then another day, like on April 9th, your energy started coming back. April 10th, yesterday, that was the sad day. Today, April, I want to say 11th, the day I'm doing your video, you're feeling the energy. It's coming. It's building. That momentum, it's rolling like a ball. I need you guys to flow with it. Things that are falling out of your world, you don't even have to make a decision on those things, but I know you're struggling to let something that of your old life go. Traditions, values you used to have, things the way you used to think about things, people. It's okay. Even if you turn around and you say to yourself, well, shit, now I have zero friends. I have no friends in my life. I have nothing. I don't know what relationships to have. That is actually supposed to happen. That is actually okay because you're about to rebuild a new life with a new environment and new situations, right? So the reason I'm telling you all this stuff is because the moon is here. You're being cautious. You're worried. You're thinking about something, but you're thinking about it in the wrong perspective. That's why I just gave this little speech. This point of view you're having, yeah, you're getting a little stuck, but I think because you don't know what the future holds, you're getting a little worried, right? So the moon, for example, talks about, say, you're in a forest, you don't know where the hell you are, your cell phone is dead. The only thing you could see in front of you is what's lit by the moon right there in front of you. What you see is what you got, right? And then you hear a wolf, and you don't know if this wolf can see you, but because you can't see the wolf, you think it's going to come and kill you. What if it was just a wounded wolf? Needed your help? What if it was just a freaking poodle who wanted to lick you? You don't know. All you know is what you got in front of you. So it's okay to not think about the future that quickly or that far ahead. It's not about worrying. It's about staying in the moment right now because it's helping you cultivate this new future, helping you cultivate ideas, helping you cultivate the new formation of who you are in relationships, how you're about to show up, because you're going to start being hella different than who you were last year. You started getting those niggling feelings last year, but this is like showtime. All right. And here it is. You're literally healing from the in out. What is the advice here for Aries? What's the advice for my Aries people, please? This is a very special Aries birthday. I want you guys to get excited. I don't want you to be scared. I don't want you to be worried. I want you to get excited. I want you to feel like the universe got your back. As long as you're doing something and you're taking action, even if you don't think it's the right way, it will reveal itself to you. It will show its way to you. Start doing things, anything, Aries, anything. All right, look at this. I don't know if the cards are just coming out after everything I tell you, but that's the Wheel of Fortune. This is Jupiter. This is quite literally what I just said. Trust. This is go with the flow. Roll with the punches. I don't want you to sweat the small stuff. I don't want you to sweat the things leaving and going out of your life. Just roll with the punches, go with the flow, because your life is changing. The wheel is moving, right? You need to make a judgment call. It's time to move forward with your new life. And what you put in motion is going to lock in. So lock in, Aries, lock in. Because you got healthy relationships coming in, whether they're work, business partnerships, or love. 2 of Cups. All right, and look at that. Solid new beginnings. Take that to the bank and cash. It's legit. Oh my God. And the Ace of Cups right under that. The Star card. Some of you even are having some stardom, like celebrity stardom. This is your era, guys, as long as you put the effort in, as long as you put the work in. Cross the bridge. All right, the outcome of the week. It's funny, like last week, which I knew like part of what was going on in the sky over there, all my equipment started failing. I was like, what the fuck? I can't afford to buy a new camera. I can't get a new, like it was all crashing all at once. And, you know, I was saying to myself, I literally had to just switch my brain over and be like, you know what? That's enough. Just stop. Just stop, Irene. Go get a brand new camera. Who cares what it costs? Go get a light. Go get more like wiring. Who cares what just do it. And I just roll with the punches. Instead, I could have been negative and sitting there like, why me? Why did this happen? Maybe I should get a cheap one and see if it works. I did that. I realized it was failing. So then after that, I was like, fuck that shit. I got to do what I got to do. I just got to flow. Signs are coming at me left and right. I want you guys to realize to implement this in your world. Signs are going to be hitting you left and right. Roll with it, especially when I'm seeing this beautiful Jupiter card in your advice. You guys are being blessed. I don't want you to look at this as a negative. I want you to look at it as an absolute positive. By the way, your ending of the week is a Knight of Cups in reverse. This Knight of Cups is somebody who's not coming in or they're not telling you what you want to hear. We'll see more when we clarify that. And perhaps this goes right back to your Four of Cups not being thrilled with what you're hearing or seeing, right? I do see a King of Pentacles also at the bottom of the deck, which is a very earthy sign, somebody very grounded, has it together. They're there for you. But let's proceed and see what's going on here for you. And start clarifying these guys. But I want you to be excited because I'm looking at the Wheel of Fortune in your advice. Like, I'm telling you, the universe has your back right now. Might not seem that way or feel that way. Anything that's happening to you guys this week, they're all blessings in disguise. Just chop wood. Just take action. You will be divinely guided, I promise you. Just out of nowhere, you're going to see things starting to click and things are going to start sticking. That spaghetti you've been trying to throw at the wall and see what stuck and what didn't, it's all sticking. All of it. Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. You know what's going on here? And this is probably why you have this moon feeling here. It's the last 12 years. It conditioned the shit out of you. You had so many challenges, and I believe it was all to prepare you for this point in time. A lot of you Aries are questioning, what's my purpose on earth? Guess what? There was a reason you were born in Aries. By the way, Jesus was resurrected as an Aries. Funny joke. But besides that, you were born at this point, at this time, at this juncture, with this stellium happening to you for a reason, because all you Aries are definitely meant to play a massive role to the greater good of humanity. You might not see it, you might not understand it, but this is why I'm telling you, this is the week I want you to all lock in. And what you do the next 2 years sets you up for the next 30. Okay? Ace of Wands in reverse. All right, this is a failure to launch some new project or a passionate new beginning. Interesting, though, is the Five of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck, because in the upright position, this is like crying over what you could have, should have done, but you're no longer doing that. Now you're looking at your other form of abundance. You're starting to see things clearly. However, I do want to remind you, Neptune is going to be in your sign for 14 years, and it is going to make you be a little confused. Remind yourselves constantly to ground yourselves, okay? Saturn will help you do that, but remind yourselves. You're going to start looking at things more clearly. You're going to start feeling to be more disciplined. You're going to start understanding if it's not a hell yeah, then it's a hell no. And moving it along, moving it along. All right. We'll see why you're declining this, but this probably goes back to you feeling stuck in something that's unrequited. So you're kind of resisting this passionate new beginning. You're saying no to it. But you're thinking about it. What's this Ten of Swords and the Six of Swords? I will take you. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, well, naturally. If you're going to be betrayed, guys, which, by the way, is probably a blessing in disguise for you, because better now than later, you feel left out in the cold, but you're struggling to kind of leave it behind. Take that shit for what it was. It was a massive life lesson. I get there was desire involved. I get that there's wish fulfillment. And you're kind of also, with Strength card in reverse, you're just kind of like putting your hands up a little bit. You slightly feel defeated. That's why you're not moving on. Because you slightly feel defeated, and you did have wish fulfillment and desire to do this, or you feel defeated to go towards your wish fulfillment and your desires, right? Because you feel left out in the cold. This is temporary. This too shall pass. Even if you're in a financial bind right now, because I could just talk about that for a second. If you're in a financial bind right now, and you're trying to figure out what your wish fulfillments are, that's what you should do. There's a reason why you're here right now. Because what you did in the past was only meant for like lessons, experiences, collecting of information. So you can take those things and turn them into tools for your future. All right? So you do need to go towards the thing that, is fulfilling. All right? Because it's true. If you end up doing the thing you actually like, because you're more concerned over being excited over the hobby, the project, than you are over the materialistic stuff. You do end up earning because you're putting that extra effort in it. You're putting that extra oomph. So it's time to let it go, right? It will bring you that stability I was talking about. For those of you in love, it will bring you stability in love, or it will bring you stability in your career. But again, I know I keep repeating it. I sound like a broken record because I need this to sink in, guys. You have to take action because there's going to be two Aries camps. Those who cross the bridge and take action and they start locking in new plans and start, moving and making decisions or researching whatever it is. And then the ones that are just sitting there, oh, I don't know, I got to think about it. Where they revert and keep doing what they used to do, expecting different results. Because even the frequency, literally the frequency of the planet is shifting. I forget what it's called. Some woman named Dolores something or other. I'm not really a scientist, but scientists have studied this. The planet is shifting at 7.5 megahertz or something like that. And now it's something like 10. So that even our physical bodies are trying to adapt to how fast the planet is rotating. And that's energy. And so are the planets in the sky. And so are who we are as a zodiac sign, Aries. We're attuning to that. I hope this is making sense because what's happening here, again, two Aries camps. One will go left, one will go right. So this is meant to help, I hope. Okay, the moon and the hangman in reverse. I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts. What do you think is shifting? What do you think is releasing? And what do you think is entering? Or what do you want to enter in your life? Last week, I asked you guys what's your current situation so we could check back in December and see where you're at. This week, maybe you guys should just tell me, what's releasing or what are you releasing and what do you want or what's coming in. Let's do that because that's another form of you guys. Even if you're commenting that down in the comments, you're putting it out there. All right. Ace of Pentacles in the cross and the Magician at the bottom of the deck. You're struggling to go towards this solid new beginning. All right. The problem is you're getting stuck and you're thinking of it the wrong way. Because of the moon, not knowing what the future holds or you're meant to take new opportunities right now. Right? Even if they don't work out, it doesn't matter. What they're doing is they're canceling. It's like when you go to the doctor or you go to the hospital and you're sick, but they don't know what's wrong. They start canceling out what it can't be. It's going to be the same thing here for you. You're canceling out what you don't like, what you don't want, to eventually it brings you to the place that you want, right? Same thing with relationships because you're morphing into a different person yourselves. See, you're manifesting that, okay? Now let's see what this wonderful Wheel of Fortune is doing in your advice card. Lock it in, Aries, and roll with the punches. Some shit fall. I'm like, all right, that fell apart. I don't know. I trust the universe now. Money will come from somewhere. And you know what? It did after all of that. It just does. If you trust, it just does. And again, I'm bringing this up because I'm looking at your hangman in reverse. I want you to think of it in a different point of view, right? The Empress. Basically, this is what you need to do. You need to know your worth and your value. I mean, you could sit there and say on the outside, I do know my worth and my value. No, you need to genuinely, down deep in your subconscious, say to yourself, well, I'm a friggin' manifester. I can bring anything I want into this world. You can. You've been conditioned and prepared for this. So knowing your worth and your value, trying to bring something into your world. You should also understand that the Empress is an earth card. So she brings these things into her material world, her 3D world, not 5D, not ethereal, right? This is ethereal. This is 5D, the High Priestess, using your instincts to know, to bring into your material world the things that you know your worth and your value. When you know that you've graduated something, you're not a page anymore. You're not a knight. You're not a king or a queen. You're an empress. That's in your advice. Roll with the punches, go with the flow, because that is the position you're going to be holding. Okay? Something in your world is undervalued, is not the same value as you. They're undervaluing you. You are undervaluing you. Don't do that anymore. That's enough. I always wonder how Leos get ahead. It's because they're so friggin'ly confident in themselves. They shoot for the moon, but they end up landing on the stars no matter what because they're so confident. You guys need to do the same thing. I see. The Knight of Cups in reverse is clarified by the Knight of Swords. Someone is not using like a gentle type of energy to talk about certain situations regarding the heart. It seems like it goes from like, oh, I want to have this heart-to-heart conversation. It doesn't come in. It comes in this way. It comes in the form of a Knight of Swords. Someone rushes in and says, you know what? This is kind of done. Yeah, bye. Doesn't get emotional. It gets detached. Emotionally detached. It gets into like clarity mode. If this was in reverse, I'd say that's bad. That's really bad. But this is different. This switches gears. It goes from here to here. And it says, okay, so I don't know if you're doing this or you're receiving this because cards are energy. You know what it is. You're adults. I think it's you, to be honest. I think instead of you having a heart-to-heart conversation and, you know, all these planets that are falling into Aries that are giving you this, like, crazy energy right now, you instead rush in and say, you know what? I'm not emotionally fulfilled. I'm not happy. I don't know why, or I didn't see this before, but I'm leaving. Or whatever it is that you definitely leave. But you say something instead of talking to them. Maybe you originally were going to, but it turns around. Because I see this going back and forth with you and somebody, and then boom, there goes the tower. I think you just start realizing certain things. You're like, yeah, I'm done. All right, let's see what we're going to talk about for love in the extended. Oh, again, I want you guys to get excited. All this momentum, all this energy that's building. I just want you to control your fire, though, right? Not everyone deserves it. You're going into the light. If people aren't following you there, let them sit in the dark because you're the fire that lights the area, Aries. And if this person doesn't want to add oxygen to your fire, peace. Go sit in the dark and look at the fucking stars. Leave me and my little fire, and I'm going to collect the people with the same energy. You need to remind yourselves constantly. And this is the direction and the path that you guys are leading. All right? Because there we go. You deserve love. Not everyone deserves to sit in your fire. You know, when mankind started developing into the land of intelligence or whatever, it started with fire. When cavemans discovered fire, before that they sat in the dark. They sat in caves. They couldn't even eat like their food. So when fire was invented, everyone got warm. Everyone sat around the fire. Everyone was able to eat like cooked food. What's my point in telling you this? That is you. That is your energy. Do you understand? So control it. Doesn't need to be aggressive. Doesn't have to be mean. Be like, no, you don't get to sit by my campfire, fucking caveman. You go sit over there in the dark. All right? Free yourself. All right. Any extra thing you want to say, angel answers, that I'm going to add to the extended? This was a very special week reading. I didn't want to do it yesterday, which I usually do it on Fridays, your reading, which was actually my Good Friday. So that's like a no-no. So I waited to this morning. Saturday morning. I should have done a live, but I've never done a live before. All right, meditation brings answers. Yes. So those of you who are struggling to make decisions, choices, which way you should look or direct yourselves, meditation is going to help you do that. Meditation can also be at the gym, cooking, gardening, anything. We'll see more when we do check it in the extended. Was a little tongue twisted today, but you know, we got through it. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. Much, much love, and I will see you guys on the next one.